Welcome back, guys. This is be part 3. Now, I'm actually recording this video probably a week after the first two parts that you would have seen. I sort of watched, finished watching Stand By Me, and sort of thought this is not really working. I'm only sort of halfway through, through it, and yeah, it wasn't really. I didn't think it was actually sort of working too well, so I sort of sort of stopped and just sort of gave up on the idea. But I was sort of thinking during the week, I thought I should try and finish this off, even though I'm only sort of halfway through, and I might sort of split it up over sort of 2 weekends. So the first 2 parts you've seen would have been sort of last weekend, and now I'm going to continue on and have to sort of finish it off. The last sort of half of it, last sort of 12 hours. This weekend. So this is, so it's a bit of a week apart, but anyway, I'm sure it won't really matter that much. So yeah, we'll continue on. So I thought because I'm a bit of a completist, I thought I might continue on and try and finish off the Lord of the Rings. So I might at least try and watch the second part, and hopefully watch the third part. I don't know, at some point soon. Maybe not necessarily in this movie marathon. So we'll get cracking with that. I think it's around 11 o'clock. Yeah, so I'll spend today watching a few movies, and hopefully I'll make the 12 hours. Now I can sort of finish off this movie marathon. So I'll chuck in the 2 towers, and I'll be back soon with my thoughts on it. Okay, so it's about 1:30 in the afternoon. Just had some lunch. Just finished watching the first disc of Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. About to start watching the second one. Really sort of enjoying it so far. I think I sort of said before in one of my other videos when I was sort of watching The Fellowship of the Ring that there didn't seem to be much difference really between what I can remember from the theatrical version and these extended cuts. But I did sort of notice in this one, even though I'm only sort of halfway through, there's actually a few more extra scenes in this one, which I've obviously never sort of seen before, and I thought they were really good. I thought you get to see a bit more of the Ent characters, the big sort of walking trees, which I also like those characters. And I also thought they were one of my favourites to watch when I was sort of watching the movie. Also, when I was sort of watching the Gollum character, I was thinking that he's, just a bit of an observation that I made, that he can perhaps be likened a bit to a drug dealer, I suppose. He's very sort of thin and bad skin, and just totally obsessed with the ring, which is obviously his drug of choice, and he's very keen to get that ring. He's also got, I guess in some ways, like other drug dealers, got like mental problems. He's got a split personality, and sort of his voices in his head, type thing. Anyway, that's just something I noticed, which I never really thought about before. So I'll start watching the second disc. I've just got a few snacks here. Got some pretzels. These pretzels are making me thirsty. Got some licorice. Some marshmallows. Then I got sort of 3 choices of soft drink. Lemon squash. What's that one? Passion fruit. And then just lemonade. So I've got a bit of a choice there. So on to the second disc. Back in a minute. Okay, so I've just done finishing watching the second disc. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Great movie, very long movie though. It was a good movie overall. I mean, it does say that it's close to 4 hours long, but I think it's got like 20 or 25 minutes of just end credits. So I think that's what takes up much of a fair chunk of the time. Anyway, so that's over. Thought I might perhaps do something else. Have a bit different, something a bit easy to watch. So I thought I might have a go of watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I haven't seen this movie for quite a long time. I can't remember much about it really. I just remember it being a really good movie, and a lot of people, it's a bit of a classic. A lot of people do say it's a really good movie. I have seen it a couple of times, but that would have been a long time ago. So yep, so I'll give this a watch and come back and give you my thoughts on it. Okay, so I'm just done finishing watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Such a great film, very sort of funny, and has a pretty cool sort of storyline to it, and great sort of characters. I think, was it 1996 I think it came out. She reminded me a lot of other movies. Like I've seen this movie where Ferris Bueller's sort of singing on that float, and sort of someone sort of driving down the street in the middle of the city, and reminds me of seeing a lot of that out of that movie 10 Things I Hate About You. Very sort of similar sort of scene, and it reminds me of a lot of other movies as well, like Blues Brothers and The Breakfast Club. I think it was just a really good movie. Great sort of music to it. The Beatles. This song here, which you can hear now, it's a Oh Yeah song, whatever it is. I remember sort of watching this film a long time ago, and must have been perhaps with the commentary on or something, because they were saying that there's a scene where the Ferrari sort of goes smashing through the glass window sort of thing. They said that they're allowed to sort of do that scene just as long as they sort of went down and picked up every single bit of glass that was on the ground down there. And I just thought at the time when I sort of heard that, I thought that would have been an absolute impossible task, I reckon, especially with all those sort of plants and foliage and all that sort of stuff. You just wouldn't find all of it, But yeah, anyway, definitely just a great movie. Yeah, very good. The next movie I'm going to watch is actually Romancing the Stone, which I think came out in 1984, another sort of 80s classic movie. I think a lot of people don't seem to talk about this movie and the sequel, Jules Banal. They don't seem to talk about this movie much anymore, so I think they're a bit sort of, at least I think they're perhaps a bit underrated, just a little bit. But whenever I watch them, I really enjoy sort of watching them. I think perhaps the first one's probably slightly better than the second one, but the second one's still pretty good. It's got Michael Douglas in it and Danny DeVito. That's going to be the next one that I'm going to watch. Yeah, so I'll be back soon with my thoughts on it. Okay, so I thought I might just make myself a bit of tea. So I just got some pasta, some cheese, a bit of toast, and perhaps a bit of, add a bit of this or something to it, just the top of it to add a bit of flavour. Yeah, so I'm hungry. Okay, so I've just done finishing watching Romancing the Stone. A very good movie, sort of a film that I always enjoy watching whenever I watch it. I think the three sort of main leads have got really good chemistry together. Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, Danny DeVito. I think they're just really good. I really like the storyline to it, and sort of the real sort of adventure elements to it. It's just got some really great scenes in it too. I mean, you've got sort of the where the bus sort of crashes, and you've got with them sort of sliding down the mud, and when they sort of find the aeroplane, and the really awesome sort of car chase scene. I also thought that was a really cool scene. And then of course it's got the end, sort of the fight out, sort of shootout at the end, and the very end of the movie itself, where we got sort of Michael Douglas sort of pulling the tail of the crocodile. That's always funny. Then you've got the very end of the movie where the credits are rolling, and you've got the sort of the yacht on the back of the semi-trailer or whatever it is, sort of being driven through the middle of the street, middle of New York City or wherever wherever it is. They're busy sort of skyscrapers and everywhere, and it's this sort of yacht being driven through the middle of the city. But definitely just a great movie. If you've never sort of seen it before, I definitely recommend watching it. It's very got I don't know, Indiana Jones vibe maybe to it. Very sort of adventure type movie, I guess, and sort of reminds me a lot of the Nim's Island with Jodie Foster. That's that movie where she's sort of a female writer, and she's sort of stuck, in her house. She doesn't leave the house. She just sort of writes books, and which is sort of what happens in this movie type thing. Kathleen Turner's like a romance writer and just sort of writes about all these adventures and stuff, but she never actually sort of goes on any. She's really just, you know, where in the movie obviously she gets a chance to go on this big adventure type thing. But anyway, but yeah, this is just, yeah, a great movie, definitely worth watching. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not too sure what I'm going to watch next. I'll just go through my collection perhaps and have a bit of a look and sort of see what I can find. And then I'll be back. Okay, so just done finishing watching another movie. I thought I might perhaps do a bit different and watch a bit of a black and white sort of classic film. That's a film I've actually sort of talked about before on my channel. A film that I really do enjoy, and I think it's a really good film, and not many people seem to sort of talk about it that much. It's called The Man with the Golden Arm, which stars Frank Sinatra, Kim Novak, and Eleanor Parker. 1955 it came out. Essentially it's about Frank Sinatra, and he's like a drug addict, I suppose, and the film sort of starts out with him sort of coming back to his hometown again. He was arrested, and sort of while he's been away, sort of, you know, kind of been in rehab, and he sort of, you know, he kicked the habit, and he's coming back, you know, back to his hometown again, and wants to become. He sort of learned to play the drums while he was sort of away, and that's sort of what he wants to do. He wants to sort of turn his life around and be a drummer in a band, and he's got this like a letter of recommendation to sort of give to this guy who might give him a job. Yeah, if he sort of passes the audition type thing, and so he sort of comes home, and he's sort of you know, full of, you know, wants to kick the habit and, you know, turn his life around, and but obviously he sort of meets back with his old friends and his old associates, and you know, slowly sort of gets back on the drugs, and what he used to be like like a card dealer for poker and like in illegal card games, and I think that's actually why he got arrested, I think, you know, for playing in these illegal games, and so of course the guys wanted to sort of him to come back and be a dealer again, so they can sort of win money and, you know, type thing, because he's really good at being a dealer. He's also got his girlfriend, and a little while ago they were both in a car accident, and she sort of ends up being in like a wheelchair, and she can't you know, use her legs, so he sort of feels, you know, obligated to look after her type thing, and he can't really leave her type thing, and she wants him to sort of, you know, get back to being a dealer, and doesn't really want to change anything type thing, wants to go back to the way it was, sort of thing. And then he's also got I don't want to use the word mistress, but I suppose that's kind of what she is. Like this other woman that he knows, and she wants him to sort of, she thinks it's a good idea for him to, you know, become a drummer and, you know, turn his life around, and she's really sort of positive. So she's sort of the other extreme, I suppose, the other sort of side of. It's kind of like, because he's still got these sort of, all these sort of people telling him, you know, pulling him from different sides, sort of thing. You know, he wants to sort of do this, and they said, no, you should be doing this, you know, type thing. And but yeah, I think it's just definitely a great film, I think, and I think it's sort of, apparently it's based on a book, and it's very, you know, controversial at the time, and I think the movie is also very controversial as well. I think because it's like a withdrawal scene where he sort of gets locked in a room, and he's sort of you know, sort of bouncing off the walls, I suppose, and, you know, wants to use again type thing, and that was a, you know, really sort of powerful scene. Well, at the time anyway. I suppose it's probably a bit tame by today's standards, I suppose. But anyway, it's definitely a great film. If you've never seen it before, definitely worth checking out, I think. Yeah, so that's that. I think it's about 11 PM, something like that. Probably 11:20, probably now. So I might perhaps watch another film. I'll just perhaps try another two, just so I'll sort of make sure I sort of get over the, you know, the 24-hour time frame thing. Yeah, so I'll choose another movie. I still haven't chosen what I'm going to watch yet. So I'll choose another movie, watch it, and then I'll come back and do some more talking. So yeah, back soon. Okay, so I think it's about 1:40 in the morning. I've just finished watching another movie. I'm getting a bit tired. I watched the Book of Eli. This is a movie that I've only sort of seen once before, and but I did really enjoy it the first time that I watched it, and I have been thinking recently that it's about time that I gave it another watch. Definitely a very good movie. Stars Denzel Washington, Mila Kunis, Gary Oldman. Essentially, it's about. I'm sure most people know what it's about, but Eli, Denzel Washington. Essentially, it's sort of set in like a post-apocalyptic, barren desert type thing. Most of the population's been killed. We've got Eli. He's sort of walking. He's got the or supposedly the last copy of the Bible in his possession. So it's essentially sort of walking west or travelling west to take the book to a safe place. He's not quite sure where exactly. He's just on a mission from God, I suppose. If I could use a line from the Blues Brothers movie. So that's essentially the movie, I suppose. And then you've got, Gary Oldman. He's sort of, I guess the leader, I guess, of a small town, I suppose, along the way. He also wants the book. I really think it's going to help him to sort of control people, and he wants to sort of expand his empire, I suppose, if I can sort of use that term. And then that's essentially the movie, I suppose. Then you've got sort of Mila Kunis, and she wants to sort of escape the small town, and tries to escape with Eli. But of course, Gary Oldman and his team, his followers, I guess, sort of want to hunt down Eli and obviously get the book and get Mila Kunis back, I suppose. I'm probably not explaining it very well. But anyway, that's essentially the plot to it, I think. Definitely a good movie. So not your typical movie, I suppose. It has a few different sort of storyline to your normal movie, and very sort of just I don't know, just a good movie, I suppose. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm a bit tired, I think. So I think that might do for my movie marathon. As I said before, it's about, what I say it was, 2:40 in the morning. So I think I've definitely gone past the 24 hours, I think. Hope so. So I think that might do it. I might say goodnight. I might perhaps do another bit tomorrow when I'm not necessarily so tired, and perhaps give you a bit of a conclusion, my sort of thoughts on the whole experience for you. Anyway, but that'll do. I'll see you tomorrow. Well, that's it. That's my movie marathon. Thanks for watching. Hope you sort of enjoyed watching it. Thanks to everyone sort of leaving comments for the first 2 parts that I put up. Big thanks to Ryan Chataway for just sort of coming up with the idea, and for the people that sort of have done video responses so far and have taken part in it. I think that's really great. Sort of inspired me to sort of actually do this myself. So I'll just quickly show you what I watched over the movie marathon. First one I watched was Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. That was sort of my 3-hour movie. That was sort of part of the requirements. Great sort of epic trilogy all up. So that's that. Then a film that I had no interest in watching, that would have been The Stranger with Steve Austin. A film that I didn't think it was too bad, I suppose. Sort of a bit cheesy, and just sort of not a bad sort of action flick. I thought actually it was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So that wasn't too bad. Then I watched Leon the Professional, a really great film from 1994 with Natalie Portman and Jean Reno, and Gary Oldman as well. This is probably the second time that I watched this, and I think I might have actually enjoyed it perhaps better the second time. Well, I enjoyed it, both times obviously, but I enjoyed it a lot more the second time that I sort of watched it. Then the film for sort of the Best Picture winner, I chose The Artist, a film that I thought was really, really good. I thought I wasn't really quite sure if it was going to be, I thought it might have been a bit overhyped and I was a bit worried it wasn't going to be that great, but I actually thought it was actually a really good film. I thought it was actually really well done. I thought I just loved it. It was very sort of simple sort of story to it, and great sort of love story, and interesting use of just music and not much dialogue. I think there's a few spoken words here and there, but yeah, definitely if you haven't seen it before, I definitely recommend giving it a watch. Then I watched Drive with Ryan Gosling. A film that gets mixed reviews, but I thought it was actually a really good film. I really do love the sort of the story, and a lot like the Ryan Gosling character and the music and sort of the style to it, and yeah, definitely a great flick, I think. Then I watched Stand By Me, one of my sort of favourite films of all time. A film that I watched quite a few times over the years, and I really do love. Yeah, so that's that. Then I watched the second part of the Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, another great flick. Watched the extended cuts, which added a few scenes here and there, and which I thought was pretty cool to watch. Yep, that's that. Then we watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off, great sort of 80s comedy. Great, I just think really sort of funny and great characters, and just love the sort of the storyline to it and the premise to it, and just a great sort of classic flick, that one. Then I watched Romancing the Stone with Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner and Danny DeVito. Just a great sort of action flick, I think. Just really good adventure to it. Film that, as I said before, I don't think many people don't seem to talk about much anymore. But definitely, if you've never sort of seen it before, I definitely recommend it. It's very good, like sort of a Indiana Jones adventure type vibe to it. So that's definitely a great watch. Then I watched a bit of a film classic, The Man with the Golden Arm, from 1955, with Frank Sinatra, Kim Novak, Eleanor Parker. Is it Eleanor Parker? Yeah, Eleanor Parker. Yeah, I think it's just a really good film. I just love the sort of storyline to it, and great acting, and great sort of set design. Anyway, so yeah, definitely a great sort of film. If you've never seen it before, I definitely recommend giving it a watch. Then the final film that I watched was the Book of Eli, which I just think is a really good flick. Great sort of story to it, and yeah, I just love the sort of the premise behind it. Yeah, great movie. Yeah, so that's it. As before, thanks for watching. Thanks for leaving comments. And hopefully we do this next year, because I think it's a great thing to do, I think. Yeah, so till next time, I'll see you soon. Bye.